All right. And we are live. Welcome to the stream. It is March 24th. And looking forward to getting continued progress done on my slime game. Which again, if you're new here, we are working on a game primarily around a slime ball character, which I'll showcase here on this test map currently that I've got set up. You are a slime, you roll around, you can stick to things, you can dash, and that's about it. And you can jiggle and be happy. That's the extent of it currently. Something I'd like to make progress on is camera conditions. Specifically when you're like colliding or like overlapping with certain elements here. Like here, I don't really want you to be able to clip through the player. I think it'd be nice if there was like a boundary around the player maybe that it can't go past. Like if regardless, I think I'd like it to do something like this, like go over rather than go through the player. Another thing I'd like is the ability to have the camera lowered down when you're like stuck to a ceiling or an underside of a surface. Right now, currently, this number happens when you're sticking to a ceiling, which is not what I want here. Of course, we'll just smile through it because what else can you do? But I think that's what I'm going to start working on here today. And if I can get some progress done with that, I'd like to make more progress on the face logic, specifically maybe like changing facial expressions, but ultimately having the face behave in a little more predictable of a manner. Because if you're like jumping up and down, for example, you jump and you bounce. Well, I guess that didn't look too bad, but like this specifically, you do a little hop when you let go. And the face, I'm not sure why. Well, that specifically, I don't know why the face is like facing the other direction like that, but go and look at where the face is. You'll see that the face kind of very quickly bobs up and down when it lands. It's just kind of unpredictable right now which direction the face is facing, huh? The face is facing. Neat way to put that. And ultimately, it's not really that big of an issue. Like, it doesn't really matter if the face like kind of jiggles up and down like that, but I think I'd like it to where if it's under a certain velocity, it just kind of stops jiggling or like comes to a slower stop rather than like popping up and down like that. But I would really like to have a better control of this camera. I think starting out, I'm going to try to make logic for having the camera not do this when you're stuck to a ceiling, because you can't see anything. So I do have, where is it? I do have logic for grabbing, which is done by just firing off traces in multiple directions around the character. And I think if the trace is above you, or actually regardless of where the traces are, maybe your character... No, I think there should specifically be logic for if the traces are above you. If the traces above you hit to grab onto something, I think you should kind of lower down a bit with the camera. I was going to say maybe the camera should face away or push away a little bit from whichever direction it's grabbing onto. Which might not be terrible, you know? But I don't think this is bad. I think this looks fine. I wouldn't really need the camera to like push out from this direction, but I do need it to happen. Oh. I didn't grab onto the ceiling like I wanted to. Yeah, but it definitely needs to happen when I'm stuck to a ceiling like this. So get reoriented with what I've got here. Yeah, we don't need, these are just face functions. Close those out for right now. Declare default values. Okay, I see. FOV, which can probably be added to the declare default values function eventually. Jump, don't need to bother with jump. Grab surface. All right, so it might need to be part of the grab surface logic. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. So off the top of my head, best solution I can think of, or the first solution I can think of, is depending on where the traces hit, have the camera move a little bit away from that. So I already have the logic for that. So these are the traces that it's running, which I might be able to. Hey, Bacon Guy. It's going pretty well so far. How about yourself? Just got started here with the stream. I remembered now what we were working on. I think we were actually working on the face orientation, just having it be a little bit more reliable. But another goal that I do have here, if not before the face orientation fix, at least right afterwards, I want to fix the camera positioning for when you're latched onto a roof. And I guess I could try to do something in regards to the camera when you're moving the camera like through a wall, like behind it, like where the wall is. I'm not sure if I want it to block the camera or if I want it to kind of travel above the character instead of going through the wall. Probably lower priority than having the camera move down a bit when you're stuck to a roof, but it would be nice to not. I just don't want in any way to have the camera like clipping through the character. I want to reduce that as much as possible. But really clipping through anything. If possible, I'd like to have the camera not clipping through anything at all. Maybe if it does clip through something, I could have the object it's clipping through just be a little bit transparent, like have some type of transparency material. Although I don't know if I want to create a property of every single material that it clips through. Or I should say, sorry, I don't want to have to make a material property for every single material in the game of things that it can latch onto. That feels like a little overkill. So I think just starting with having the camera move out of the way as much as it can would be better. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the traces, but maybe, I don't know if it's best to have the solution be the traces that determine when the camera moves, or just like the character's position to something determine when the camera moves. See, like this isn't really that bad here, but like I want to avoid this if possible, this little situation here. And then of course, avoid the camera like making the character disappear when you're latched onto a ceiling like this. I think for the most part, my main issue is really going to come from the character being latched onto a ceiling like that. So I should probably start there. I can live with the camera clipping through the character when you're on a wall, but on a ceiling, it's extra bad because you don't have the choice of moving the camera out of the way. It's just kind of stuck up there. And I don't want to do it where every time you grab, it moves the camera down, but it should only be like the top or so vector points. So like if I guess really if just the top one, the top vector, if that one at all is bringing the character up to grab onto something, then the camera should be lowered down a bit. Yeah, so array element. So basically, like if the grab detection trace result contains, what's the topmost one? It'd be Z1, right? Just Z1 with X0, Y0. Oh God, I got a sneeze coming. Excuse me. Okay, so this one. So if trace number 13, I just check if grab location is above the player within some threshold. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah, if the grab location, okay, yeah, if the grab location's Z is greater than the character Z, then yeah, it probably should move the camera down. Maybe by a certain threshold, because I don't want it to be like if it's just a little bit up, it should be like pretty straight up. And the length of these, I don't think, is it just one? I don't think it's just one. What was I multiplying that by? There was a multiplier here. I can't remember what I multiplied it by though. Grab detection length. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if the Z is, could say like grab detection length times, like if it's like 0.75 of the grab detection length, then have the camera move up. Or I should say if the Z value of the grab point is 0.75 or more, or has a Z value of 0.75 or more higher than the character's current position, then it should move the camera up. That's probably a good place to start. So you can close that. I'll use about the same function. Grab surface. Yeah, and then start with a branch. And just get a grab location. What was that? Grab detection length. Okay, yeah. Oh, it always messes me up that it brings me into this collapsed node selection in the same tab. I always expect it to have made a new tab or like keep my old tab open. There you go. Grab detection length. I'm just going to copy that. Paste. And then guess the position or transform. Or location. No, transform. Get actor transform. Get actor up vector. Wonder if that'd be better to use. Probably not, right? Because that's just the direct, that should, okay, yeah, just 1.0 away from the actor upwards. Probably not. But I mean, there's probably a way to use this, but I feel like in my head it makes more sense to just use like the transform. And actor up vector will always be 001 in your case. Yeah, but I don't, at least for this little comparison that I'm doing, I don't know how useful it is to get the current vector with Z plus 1. You know? I feel like I might as well just get like the transform. Yeah, I'm saying it's not useful here. Got it. The transfer actor role space. Return value location. Yeah, so I probably just need the location then. Okay. Get actor location. Yeah, I don't need the transform. I just need the location. Okay, so if the grab location is equal to or less than the grab detection length times like point whatever, you know, we'll just multiply that by convert to float. What's the difference between double and single again? I think it's just 2 spots after the decimal, right? Those look the same. Oh well. 0.75 is equal to or greater than or equal to. I feel like I had this issue before where I wasn't able to compare it properly. We'll just say greater. Oh gosh, yeah, I had this issue before. I can't remember what the solution to that was. I'm just supposed to get like a compare vector instead of dragging off of it, or just like a greater. Oh, there's only one operator type. I gotta convert it? No. Maybe I should split the location. I only need the Z anyway. Yeah, I should split it anyway. So if the grab location Z is greater than or equal to, I should probably get the Z of this as well. I think so, yeah. I think I should still probably get the Z of the grab detection length. In that case, I need a different. I can just convert this. Convert to float. Split is greater than or equal to 0.75. The grab locate. Wait. Yeah. 0.75 the grab detection length. To load. No, I don't think that's right. I need to get the actors. That's right. Yeah, that's not right. Basically, sometimes 2 minus 1 could end up as 0.99999 instead of 1. Oh. Single precision is less accurate, but way less expensive to use. Oh, okay. So I should probably just use single precision then, because I only need the 2 decimal places. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I can just convert it. Or not. That's so weird. I can convert it to other stuff, but not the float. Whatever. I'll just do it again. Greater than or equal to. Oh, this is double precision anyway. Yeah, it is. Okay, I guess it does need to be. Huh. Wait, now why am I comparing that? This is supposed to be multiplied. I'm going to do my best today, but golly, today, for some reason at work, was just so mentally draining. Generally, you would use double for world coordinates. Gotcha. That makes sense. So it should be, let's split this. It should really be get actor length, turn value Z, probably add, right? So the grab location Z plus the, no. I'll get this here in a second. Yeah, that's not right. So if the grab location is more than 0.75 the distance away, grabbed detection length. Actually, I probably should be adding the grab detection length to the actor location. Now that I think about it. Yeah. And if that is greater than or equal to no. If this Z on this is greater than or equal to the result of this, I think. Okay, let me reassess the logic here. Okay, actor location. If the actor location plus 0.75 of the grab detection length, so that's 3/4 of the way up to the end of the detection length. If that Z is equal to or less than the grab location, then this, yeah, I think that's right. That feels right. I think that's right. Okay. Pretty sure that's right. And true. Does this feel right to you? This feels right to me. I could be totally wrong, but this math feels right. So if it's greater, if the location Z coordinate is greater than the actor location plus, this might work, but it's weird, but it's weird math. That's, yeah, I guess wouldn't be surprised if this is an unconventional way to do it. This is just what made the most sense in my brain, I guess. Okay, so if that's true, then the camera is going to need to lerp downwards by the grab speed, I guess. Yeah, honestly, I've pretty much already got that. Yeah. It's like my first thought, okay. Yeah, it would basically be the same logic here, just with get the world location of the camera and and probably just Z minus whatever value, and then plug that into V. if actor location Z minus grab location, actor location Z minus grab location dot Z greater than or equal to the threshold. Okay, so actor location Z minus grab location Z is greater than or equal to. But that, so I think that would fire if the grab point is above you at all, right? Because I guess what I'm trying to avoid, I might be wrong, but if that is correct, and if what I said is correct, then what I'm trying to avoid is like the camera moving downward if like the point that it grabs onto is just like a little bit above you, you know? Where at threshold equals grab detection length times 7.5. Let's see here. I can close these out. I can close that out too. What am I doing up here? I need to be over here. Okay, so your logic you're saying is actor location Z minus grab detection length Z subtract grab detection length Z. If that's greater than or equal to the threshold, which the threshold is grab detection length Z times 0.5. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right, huh? That's basically, I guess it's basically the same thing, sort of. Or I think the result that comes out of here, I think is the same, no? It's basically, is the difference bigger than my allowed threshold? Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the result might be the same. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, though. You should print them both. Good call. Disconnect that. Put that over here. Honestly, I don't need to really drag them around if I'm just printing. We're already rough and tumbling right now. Organize this after. Boom. Oh, that was silly. I don't know why I did the... Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all... Hang on. Actually, it's always going to come out false. So that's not right. Give them keys. So am I incorrect in that just as long as you type anything into the key at all, it prints once? Because I feel like I can type anything. Type yes, no. Keep forgetting hitting play will compile it. Yeah, it's just once. Oh, true. We got a true and a false right there. Yeah, that's how it works. It overwrites any existing key if on screen. So I'm confused why the key is not just like a checkbox, like a Boolean, because it kind of acts like a Boolean. Not really important to what we're trying to solve right now. That's more of a separate curiosity I've had about the key on the print string. Is it one of those like just don't ask type situations? It's just how it is. Okay, so we did have a true and a false right there. Yeah, false, true. Okay, so what I should do is trying to think of a better way to print this out to see like the exact numerical difference. I guess just each one of these right here. Boom, boom. Because grab location. Grab location Z. Oh, you know what? I should actually I don't know why I thought I could type in something specific here. I think I would just have to plug this into a branch and then like if true, print string for whatever the string is. Okay. I'd like to know which one's true and which one's false. So I can just do this. That's fine. I just disconnect it. Not a big deal. False. Okay. Yeah, so this logic is not going to work then, if that's the case. I guess it really wouldn't. Huh. Maybe my approach isn't going to work either way. Because yeah, if you like bounce up to and hit the top of it, like obviously it's false. Because if you're grabbing it from such a short distance away, then it's false. But I guess I would be worried. Okay, so let's try this then. Let's do. I think I need a couple different test objects in here. Let's do something like this. Yeah, something like that. Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess I'd want to avoid a situation where, well, I don't know. Maybe I could have it set to where if the Z is higher, move the camera down. Or I could just lower the threshold by a lot. Or raise the threshold, or whichever one. I think you know what I mean. Oh gosh. Man, he is freaking out. Trying to stick to the bottom of his thing. Threshold shouldn't be bigger than the character radius. Don't you hate it when you drop something and it disappears into the void? Yeah, it's just gone forever at that point. I don't know if you've ever seen Parks and Rec, but there's a clip where Ben hands something to Andy. I can't remember what he handed him. And immediately it's gone. He like hands it to him. He turns around and Andy's like, oh, I lost it. How'd you lose it? I just gave it to you. I don't know. It's gone. I lost it. Let me see if I can find that clip. Love that show. Oh, wow. Thought this would be pretty easy. to Google. Found it after crawling around under my desk. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time finding this clip. That's crazy. I thought it would just come up immediately. Interesting. Oh well. Yeah, every time I try to Google like Andy loses the thing Ben hands him, it just keeps coming up with like how Andy lost all this weight. Andy loses weight in Parks and Rec. Because like when he got casted for Star-Lord, he had to go from like chubby funny dude on that show to like shredded. And in the show they explain it. Andy was just like, oh yeah, just stop drinking beer. And then they don't really explain it any further than that. Oh well. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah. Threshold shouldn't be bigger than the character radius. Yeah, that's true. I guess, yeah, I'm just trying to avoid a situation where if there's if you're like on the corner right here, you know, like down here, so technically your grab location is higher. I'm trying to avoid a situation where the camera like moves down unnecessarily. But I guess you could probably still have the camera move down like this. That's probably fine. Wonder if this glitching is just because it's like too thin of a surface to grab onto. I think that's probably what it is. We'll try that. We'll just try basically if the Z is larger than the character. Or if the Z is higher than like the radius of the character where it ends right there. I look at that again. It was sphere collision. Make it visible again. Oh, that is the sphere collision. Okay. So like to there, basically. It's 49.24. Why is it such a... What is going on with that snapping? That's weird. 49.24. We'll just call it 50. If the Z value is greater than 50, sure. Honestly, I can probably just delete all this. I don't even really need to worry about the grab detection length then. Oh, you could still see that. I still have it visible. That's funny. True. True. Okay. Yeah, that's probably closer to the logic I need. It's much simpler too. If the actor location plus 50 is less than the grab location Z. Yeah, so I wouldn't need the grab detection length in that case. Yeah. If I was going to take in the grab detection, it'd probably be better to do it that way. But I think in this case, this is probably fine. All right. Into condition. And if it's true, basically doing this exact same thing right here. I could probably just copy this whole thing and then replace out the stuff that I don't need, because I don't need like config grab speed. No, I do need config grab speed actually. Yeah, we're just gonna boop. We're gonna copy that. So I don't need sphere collision. I need the camera. Was that gonna work for the camera? Should I do it for the spring arm maybe? I could very easily swap it out. I think the camera should be fine though. So into get world location, set world location, and then not grab location. I can just delete that. Vector minus $550. I don't know. Do 50. Let's try 50. I think I could probably also turn this into a function. At least just this like lerp logic we have, because I've reused this lerp logic multiple times. I guess just twice here. It is a little different each time. Maybe like, I don't know, this is probably fine. I can just leave it like that. If true, do that. So it's not going to reset like this, but I just want to test if this works. Oh, I gotta make the sphere collision invisible again. It just keeps adding it. That's right. There's no threshold. That's funny. Okay. So if camera is, what were we using this for? Sphere collision. Oh yeah, because it's just going to keep trying to. I see. That's right. So that is correct for that. Where else did I use this? I swear I had a threshold logic for that previously, but oh well, it's not that hard to set the logic for it. So if the location of the camera is, I'm going to need to save the camera location in that case. So that should probably be in the set default values function. Declare default values. Yeah, so I'll do camera. Literally just like this exact thing here. Just boom. And I'll do that under functionality. So we'll do initial location camera instead. Vector, put that under functionality, set. Oh no, it has to be, so it's gonna have to be local. Okay, so where is the camera? Location. Oh, it's already relative. Yeah, it's all relative already. Okay, so that might actually be okay. All right, and then grab surface. All right, so I'll need to get the return value here. Disconnect that. That needs to be compared to initial camera location. If the return value is return value Z, right? So we're going to compare. Need to split this? I don't think so. I want to reference again what I had done previously. That was the face and scale of the slime. I guess scale is pretty simple. Maybe I am going to need to do Z value. I wonder if there's got to be a way to just basically say if it's more than X amount in any direction, then that's the threshold. Is that essentially what this is? Or more or less in any direction? No, it would be less because we're lowering the camera. Yeah, I guess just if it's less, I think that's basically what it does. If it's less in any direction. I'll try it like that first. If that doesn't work, then I'll split it, but I think this should be fine. All right, if the current location is less than or equal to, that's right, I can't compare it like that for some reason. So we are gonna have to split it either way. Split. Split. If the Z is less than or equal to the initial camera location Z, I'm gonna have to branch this. If it's less than or equal to the initial camera location. No, I'm gonna have to like do math on this right here actually. So this is where I would set the threshold. So camera location minus 50. I think that's right. Yeah, if its current location is less than or equal to 50, or the initial camera location minus 50, then continue to set world location. You should move the spring arm. You don't want to move the camera. That's what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't, although I just couldn't understand like what the difference would be in moving the spring arm versus the camera. But I can definitely just swap this out for camera or for spring arm in that case. And then same like initial location camera and or initial location spring arm. But yeah, what would be the logic behind doing the spring arm instead of the camera, or like why you shouldn't move the camera instead? The spring arm is the arm that moves the camera when it would clip through stuff. Okay. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that is true. Especially if the camera should always be at the end of the arm, or it would be liable to clip again. Okay. So I'll just change this to location, camera, spring arm, maybe. We'll do cam spring arm. I don't think I'll use another spring arm, but it's a quick and easily identify that. Location, cam, spring arm, get location, spring arm. Okay. If the spring arm defaults to 0, then you don't even need the initial location. Oh. It does, doesn't it? Because it's what is that value? There's a bunch of dots. What in the world? What is that value? Why is it just dot, 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 dot? Why the Z is 50. Okay. Yours is default to 50. Yeah, because I do have it up a little bit. Should I have it up a little bit because I want the default position of the camera to be slightly above the slime, because I don't want the slime to be dead center on the screen at all times. Do you think it'd be a better idea to move the camera up 50 instead of the spring arm? If I was trying to achieve that, because it's basically, watch. See how the camera's up a little bit? The slime isn't perfectly centered. No, this is good? Okay. And in this case, I don't really mind setting the initial location. This is fine. This doesn't hurt nothing. Location cam. Armra. What? Initial location cam spring arm. Initial location cam spring armra. Initial location cam spring arm. Unreal, are you okay? Location cam spring armra. What? Do I maybe save? No, it's. At first I saw that, I was like, oh, I can't spell. I'm a silly goose. Oh no, it's right over here. It's right over here. This is the same. Did it happen maybe when I split it? No, it's up here, also arm. I'm very curious to see if that like happened when I split it. Let's grab that again. That's weird. Yeah, I agree. Okay, spring arm. Split. No, it's there. I wonder if Unreal got confused or has some weird bug that comes up if you rename a variable that's already in use. Maybe just depending on the specific characters or even the number of characters, or it could be anything, honestly. I don't know why that would come up, but I'm pretty sure that happened after I renamed the variable. I don't think it was like that before. Yeah, probably a weird rendering bug. Makes sense. Okay, so initial location can spring arm minus 50. Yeah, minus 50 should be maybe even more than that, because if it's minus 50, it's just going to center the slime on the screen. But I at least want to start. I want to do this to see if the logic even works here. Is less than or equal to spring arm minus 50. Oh, wait, no. The current location is less than, so it should be false then if I was doing it in this case. Because we only want it to move when it's not less than. Or I could just flop these around. I could just do this. I guess it really didn't matter. True or false. Or just flopping those. Math is weird. Booleans are weird. Not sure what's going on here, but you don't need a branch at all. Really? I'm just trying to limit it, because if I'm holding the grab function, it just keeps moving the camera away. Oh, but set world location. Hang on. I don't need a branch. Then, well, because when I just plugged this in here into the new location, it just kept moving the camera. Recombine, just put that right there. Spring arm. Yeah, it just keeps moving the camera. Which oddly is not... Oh. Is that... What is this nested under? That's nested under the default scene root. Okay. Why is it not going down, though? You're setting the world location. Ah. I am, aren't I? So it should be set add local offset, maybe? Or just set relative location? What would add local offset do? It's probably not what I need to do, but I'm curious what that even does. Adds a delta to the location of the component in its local reference frame. No clue what that meant. Adds a delta to the location of the component and its local reference frame. Its current location plus delta. Might be too dumb for this one. So it's just the current or the change from your location from the current frame to the previous frame. It's the same as adding to the current location and then setting it. Oh, interesting. So I guess this could technically work, but I could also just do the relative location. Just do relative location. Oh, wait, no. Set relative. You want get relative and set relative. Set relative location. Okay. And then, oh yeah, I don't need get world location. I need get relative location for this one. Get relative location. Oh. Nope. Okay. Minus 50. Grab speed. All right. Yeah, what was I even doing here? Move this out of the way. Oh, well, this is, okay. So this is just subtracting 50. No, it should go down to 50. Yeah, that works. Cool. I don't need any of that. My gosh, this is quite a function we got going on here. Maybe I should put a couple functions inside this function. This in general right here, this could probably be its own function outside of grab surface. Like setting camera location. I could turn this into probably a reusable function. That's not specific to grabbing onto a surface, because it would be useful to be able to move the spring arm of the camera But what I should probably do is maybe do the transform instead of relative, like location. It should be transform. So if I need to, I can adjust the rotation at some point. Well, no, it is using grab speed though. But the speed can just plug in. I can just have the speed be an input. And then put the grab speed. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other situations where I'm going to want to move the camera based off of the spring arm that's on it. I guess it could, like, if you were like snapping to something you wanted the player to focus on. But when would I do that while staying within the restraints of the spring arm that's attached to the character? I would just like move the camera away or use a different camera that spawns like right where that camera is, like look up, move back, and then have the control of the camera go back to this camera rig rather than trying to snap the camera rotation. I guess maybe if you're focusing on something. Because a hat in time does that when you're using the kid's hat. It does use the same spring arm that the character controller uses. You're thinking like cutscene cameras or whatever, you can blend between different cameras. Yeah, I was more so thinking of like the way that the kid's hat works in a hat in time. How when you use it, it like focuses and points towards what you're looking at. Because I'd imagine that is taking control of the spring arm attached to that character rather than like blending into a different camera. Right? Or does it move away from... I don't know. But I don't know if I would ever end up needing to use that, you know? I don't know if it's worth it to like preemptively make a function out of this in the off chance that I want to have the camera snap onto something while still maintaining the same spring arm from that character. Probably don't need to. I can probably just blend between different cameras like you said. And it would be easy to come back and make the function later if I really needed to use the camera that's attached to the player specifically. It's probably fine. I can probably just leave it like this. But man, this might need to move to another function anyhow. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're going to need to blend back to default. I suppose so, yeah. But would I not blend back to default essentially under the same condition that we're doing with like the requested grabbing, like the is grabbing and requested grabbing? I could even put it right here. I mean, this is a huge function. I don't know if the function needs to be this big. It only runs once. Yeah, you're right. It does only run once, doesn't it? Okay. Well, I mean, this is all in tick, so if I'm requested grabbing, not requested grabbing, then... Wait, what? Yeah, if I'm not requested grabbing, but is grabbing, requested grabbing is false. Requested grabbing false. Requested grabbing false. Do I even need this branch right here? could be done there, but it might get confusing to maintain. Yeah, that was why I even like started this line of thought of like moving it to a different function anyway, because this is already like, this function is massive. Now, have I seen pictures of other people's functions that just dwarfs this and puts it to shame? Absolutely. But for me personally, this is already getting a little bit bigger than I can keep track of. And that's probably the mark of when I should make a separate function, is if it's personally for me getting a little too hard to keep track of. A single function to handle camera updates is better, in your opinion. Yeah, you're probably right. I think you're right on that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. So in that case, I could take all of that. And I could probably leave this in here and just have it like change a variable of like is grab location, whatever the variable name, but like detecting if the grab location is above the character, above that threshold. That can just be a Boolean variable that can then be plugged in into the camera function later. So I could probably leave this here. Well, not the branch, but this would just be a set instead. Okay. Yeah, generic bool can be reused elsewhere too. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let's grab this. I'm going to copy it. Where are we at? Okay. Let's begin play. We'll do, it's probably, it should be on tick. It's like update camera, I guess. Wait, what am I doing right now? Wait, can I make a function from here? Retain add timeline. Paste here, no. I feel like that'd be neat if you had the option from this menu of just creating a new function rather than creating it over here and like dragging it over. Oh, that's a variable. What am I doing? I mean, I do need a new variable, but all right, whatever. I need a new variable anyway. So we'll just Boolean rename to. I tend to collapse to function and then cut and paste it where I want. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it would be nice to have that option there. Okay. Is grab. Oh, it auto saved as I was naming it. Is grab above player. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I could put is grab location above player, but is grab above player. That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Grab surface. Actually, we'll get rid of that. Let's grab above player, set, bam, bam. Then yeah, this. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. Just collapse this to a function and then collapse to function. Didn't even think about that. And copy it and put it out on the main event graph. That'll be the start of the update camera function. So cut. I don't know why. Like, obviously I know it's going to be there when I hit Control V or paste, but pressing Control X instead of Control C always feels like the computer version of like shooting a basketball shot and then just not looking and walking away because you know it's going to make it anyway, rather than trying to like check if it's going to make it. I don't know, like for some reason it feels riskier even though you know it's like it's there because you don't have that backup. It's like I'm living dangerously. Yeah, I don't hit copy, I hit cut. I already know I'm going to go paste it right after that anyway. Like I do the same thing, like no matter what, whether it's like this or, you know, just like some text or cells in an Excel file. I don't know, just anything that you're copy and pasting. People who just only cut instead of copying, it's like the Virgin Control C'er versus the Chad Control Xer. Like, don't gotta worry about it. It's gonna be pasted anyway. Okay. Oh yeah, this does need to be here anyway, because that's on begin play, and this is a tick function. Okay. The camera, spring arm. Yeah, so, all right. And I guess I could just still use this here. I don't know why it feels illegal to use this config grab speed variable outside of the grab function. Like, it works fine. It just feels wrong for some reason. Okay. And then I have to update it to go back. All right. Oh, I need the branch right here. If grab above player is true, go to here. This is going to functionality. I don't know why I don't like this. I'm gonna do this. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I still haven't like fully decided how I like organizing my nodes. Sometimes I like just doing the, you know, one of these. But then like when you have multiple stuff plugged in like that, oh, I guess I could organize it like by the vertical order that it's plugged in. You know, like this is plugged into the top one, this is plugged into the bottom one. But then up here, these ones, these are tougher. So maybe I could just do something like that. Maybe just vertical order could be a way to do it. I don't know, this still doesn't feel great. A lot of crisscrossing going on back there. Yeah, still not decided on how I like it. Versus just the way I was doing it before. I don't know. I guess if I'm making a really long line of logic, then stacking it like that makes more sense, but I'm just dividing stuff up into a bunch of functions anyway. Might as well make it a little more left to right readable. All right, so set relative location. Yeah, this should still work. I didn't really change anything else except moving it into its own function. So yeah, that works just fine. And I got to update it to go back. So is grabbing. Yeah, I should do it off of is grabbing. So I might need another branch ahead of this. Wait, what am I doing? Branch. Is grabbing. And probably move this up a little bit. False. Should basically be the exact same thing, just reversed. Trying to remember the best way to go back from the original position. Oh, I should just measure if the distance is okay. I just the same. Okay, I got it. I got it. Actually, let me grab. I'm just gonna grab all this and adjust it down here. Okay, so spring arm, relative location should be. Wait a minute. Am I not using initial camera cam spring? Oh my gosh, initial location cam spring arm. I'm not even using that. I could probably use it here, actually. In this case, yeah. Initial location cam spring arm. Actually, I think that's all I got to do, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I got to do. Okay. All right. Send it. Better a switch on is grabbing and is grab above player. Yes. I see what you're doing. So that this is not always running if I'm not grabbing. I see what, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so is grab above player is grabbing. Okay. Wait, and it should be and is grabbing though. So false should go down here. Is grab above flare. Well, grab is above flare and is yes, but is grabbing is. Did I put another one down here? A switch node going to be. A switch node going to be on a single set relative location. A switch. There's a switch node. This is hard to describe through text. I'll make a screenshot. Appreciate it. Yeah, because otherwise, I guess without maybe just adding more branches, I'm not sure how I would set it to where this false logic here is not always firing. Obviously, it's checking, like if it's greater. Oh wait, no, but the check is done at the is grab above player. That's where that check is coming in. Switch on. I assume it's one of these bajillion switch-ons that you're referring to. A lot of E's. Switch on name, switch on end, switch on string. I can just... No? Okay. There's no switch on bool, I guess. Bool? No. There's switch on string, switch on name, switch on int. But no switch on bool? There's so many E's. If like 90% of these need an E in front of it, do any of them really need an E in front of it? I meant select, my bad. Oh. Is that something I can drag out from here? Select. What is the return value of this? A wild card. I threw up spaghetti in Discord. Let's take a gander. Thrown together at ultra speed. Okay. So is grabbing. Is grab above player, and oh, there is an and. There's an and. There might be a couple spots I've used multiple booleans where I could have just used an and, or multiple branches where I probably could have just used an and. I didn't even realize there was an and for Booleans, but that makes so much sense. Okay. Goes into the index for the select. Oh, okay. And, NAND, NOR, OR, XOR. I don't know if that's XOR or if that's XOR. Like a real edgy name. Okay. Okay, initial spring arm location. Spring arm when grab above. I know what you mean by that. Right there though. Bad name. It's a fine name. And then cube target relative location. I see, yeah. Spring arm. Relative location. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so you don't need a branch at all in this case. Man, that select node looks really useful, actually. I probably could, there's probably a lot of branches I could replace with just a select node like that. Interesting. All right. And what does the NAND do? What is that? I'm just curious. Returns the logical NAND of two values, A and B. Is NAND a word I just don't know the definition to? A NAND, not AND gate is a universal digital logic gate that produces a false output only when all inputs are true. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Huh. So many possibilities. I never even considered that. It is essential in digital electronics because it is functionally complete, meaning any Boolean function or computer processor can be built using only NAND gates. Huh. You could build a processor using only NAND gates. That is interesting. Now I need to know what XOR is. Is it the same thing? Just like, well, no, because OR is one or the other already. Exclusive or exclusive disjunction, exclusive alternation, logical, what? I don't know what you're talking about here. I need it in dumb guy words. Exclusive OR, okay, is a logical operation that outputs true only when the inputs differ. Specifically, when exactly one input is true, it acts like the one or the other, but not both operator. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so it's false if they're both true. And well, the output is false if they're both true, and then true if only one of them is true. And then I guess also false if they're both false. Interesting. Okay. There's so many possibilities here, actually, for gameplay logic using those. These aren't even two things that I realized existed. Yeah, I did not get very far in math, it seems. Although I don't know how much of this is actually math compared to... It is math. It is technically math. It's also like electronics. It's Boolean algebra. I guess I don't think I really got to Boolean algebra in high school. That was the farthest math I got to. I don't think it was very far, because I think I went from like math into economics. The high school that I was in allowed for economics in the later half, like junior and senior year, in place of math. I think it was algebra 2 that I finished. Maybe calc. I don't remember. I think it might have been algebra 2, because I think it went algebra 1, calculus, and then algebra 2 at my school. And then after that, I think I went to economics. That was over 10 years ago, though. Shoot. That was... 12 years ago I graduated. And I'm getting old. Smash Mouth was right. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. All right. Back to the task at hand. All right. And is grabbing. And then technically that was the task at hand. Learning logic gates is essential knowledge for game dev. You're right. Yeah. I guess it just wasn't the task like of specifically making this logic gate, but yeah, you're right. It is essential to know the different kinds of logic gates for game dev. Just it's crazy how much crossover it feels like there is between game development and electronics development too. I would not have assumed that there was actually that much. I thought the Venn diagram would have been much smaller in the middle, but it seems like there's a lot more crossover. Obviously, there's the whole engineering side, which that is on the other side of the Venn diagram that game devs are not in. Okay, and then swing on and grab above. Guess that would just be, yeah, minus 50. So, wait, should it be? Oh yeah, because we're doing this version here. All right, so it should be like this, and then just minus 50. Well, yeah, minus 50. This should be I need to stop putting minus 50 magic numbers everywhere. That needs to be an actual variable I can change. That would actually be a config. No, not local. You could invert the initial. Oh yeah, because the initial is 50. But I don't know if I want it to be 50. You know, it might end up just staying 50, but I don't know if 50 is like what I've decided on is how low down I want it. I mean, I guess it was fine. It looked fine. We'll invert it. If I really hate it, then I'll make a separate variable for it. Is there an invert? Invert, transform, location, right? What is T? Just times minus 1. Yeah, that makes sense. Multiply to single precision float minus 1. Oh, that's hilarious to me. Is there an input node? No, brother, just times minus 1. What are you doing? That's hilarious. All right. Well, oh yeah, so this plugs in here. That's right. Okay. Oh my gosh, can I grab this, please? There we go. Please. These. One of these, maybe? I can probably just go down here. This is fine. This is FINE fine. Maybe move this up just a little bit. All right. I think that's good. Oh, but I don't need the... Oh wait, I still need... Hang on. I am still going to need... trying to figure out if I should just get rid of these branches and use the same select method for setting the location lower if grab above player is true. Originally, I was just doing the is grab above player. That can be the whole function. This can be the whole function? Really? Okay, so set the relative location of the spring arm, relative location, move from there, from its current relative location to oh, I guess you're right, huh? Because yeah, if it's false, it's moving to that location. If it's true, it's moving to that location. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Interesting. I think your select is inverted. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's totally inverted. Wife delivered me some coffee. Babe. She's on the phone. I was going to tell her you said hi. Oh, God. Hey, Siren. Siren heard there's attention being given. There's attention being given to those that are not me? I know, I'm sorry. It really is a tragedy, I know. No, you cannot just sprawl layout with your belly up on top of my keyboard. I'm sorry, Siren. I need that. She's confused why I'm petting the keyboard instead of her. I know, I'm not sure you'll ever get it, but this is an important key block I gotta pet. She is home now. Why don't you go get pets from her? Is that what you tried to do and she denied you? That way you're coming up to me now? You were chilling the whole time. Oh, I think she woke you up when she came home. That's probably what it was. That makes sense. All right. I'll hold you because you're all over the keyboard. I'll hold you while I fix this select right here. Goes there. That goes there. Yes, hi. Oh, maybe the other side. I think you'd want my right arm instead if it was that side. So let's go this side. My left arm. There you go. Yeah, that's better support. You have anything to say? Very inspirational. Okay. that over here. I think that's good. Save that. I need that too. The only thing I don't like about this microphone mount, it's the one that came with the microphone that I got. This is like the Shure. Gosh, I don't even remember what it is. Like SM something. Obviously, it's not the 7B. I almost got the 7B, but I would have had to get like a whole XLR setup. And I did like that I could just plug this right in. And it does have an XLR in the back in case I'd like to plug it in at some point. Just plugged in like right here by like a 90-degree USB. And if I use the XLR, I can't use like I can't use like the mute button on top. And I can't use any of the built-in software if I use the XLR. But anyway, the arm that came with it, I liked everything about it except the swivel like back and forth, because it's like mounted over there, like a little bit behind this monitor here. It's like mounted behind that. It comes up over here. But the swivel, like this way, there's no way to like tighten that, like prevent it from swiveling. It just free swivels. Like there's no knob. There's knobs like this to move it like this way. Like I can tighten that and prevent that, but there's no knob to prevent it from going this way, which I'm not a huge fan of. Other than that, it's a great quality mount though. They even got like a little channel on top that the cord feeds into. I have cat hair all over me. You need to be brushed, ma'am. Ugh. This girl sheds like crazy. Brush her, and then like 2 days later, she's shedding again. Girl. I can't even remember the last time you laid in this bed. It's always Domino laying in here now when I come in. I think you're over the bed. All right, maybe if you can lay right there. Don't move. Don't move. You can lay like that. That's fine. He's right here. Maybe I should get a separate camera that like points right down at the mouse and keyboard, because I feel like nowadays she just lays here instead of laying over on her cat bed. Well, I don't want to get rid of the cat cam. This one. I don't want to get rid of that. Sometimes she lays down there, but most of the time she's just right here now. I could probably get another one of those cheap little cameras. That cat cam camera is was like $20. I think it was really, really cheap. Just a Walmart camera. Okay, back on track. So, camera. Speaking of cameras. That worked beautifully. You almost can't even really... Oh. Why are you glitching? Was it doing that the first time? Like crazy? No, it wasn't. Oh, it does. Okay. It's glitching at like the same rate that the face is moving around. It has to do with the transform constantly trying to update. Like the transform of the... Yeah, okay. Well, it's not really doing it anymore. But either way, that face issue is also going to have to be fixed. And I think it's the same thing causing both the face and the camera to like bounce the way it was. Yeah, it only starts bouncing up and down once the face starts going crazy too. Shrink the threshold a bit. Okay. The threshold. Let's see. Initial cam, alarm, cam. Minus, this is the threshold, right? Yeah, this is the threshold. So we'll do minus. No, that's the position. That's not the threshold. What is the threshold in this location? Threshold is what changes is grab above player. Oh, duh. Yeah, that's not even in this function. Okay. Grab surface. Okay. Okay, this is the threshold. Yeah. Greater than 50. Okay. Okay. Maybe this should be variable. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Once I get it down, it's not really going to change. It's not like a, you know, it's not like the FOV variable or. Best practices say I probably should make this a variable. But we're just going to mess around with it for a sec. So I wonder if it should probably go down by 40. Yeah, I did fix that issue. Although now the face is kind of struggling. It's interesting that the face thinks that the velocity vector is pointed down like this, even though I am not moving at all. Because the face is essentially just acting as like an arrow of where your forward velocity is. And it seems to be jumping all over the place. Or like your forward vector. Or velocity, I guess more velocity vector, not... Yeah, forward vector, I guess is fine. It's a fine way to say it. It makes sense when you're pressed against a wall, it wants to be pushed away from it. Yeah, the physics are trying to push it away from it. Why does it start freaking out at that point? Is the question. Like it's totally, it works just fine for a sec. And then there it goes. It starts to freak out. Man, the jiggle really it's kind of off topic, but the jiggle looks real good on this. we nailed some wholesome jiggle physics with this slime. Like, look at that. That looks great. You don't often see jiggle physics used in a wholesome way like this, but this is a wholesome jiggle physics setup that we have. Because the movement is so small, the direction cannot be determined reliably. So I'm wondering if it's best to determine the movement or the direction only if the movement is above a certain threshold. Man, I shouldn't have scratched my eye. I am technically allergic to cats, but it's really not that intense of an allergy. Sometimes it's more sensitive than others too, but right now it's kind of acting up. Oh gosh. Oh my, I'm feeling it in my eye. My right eye might start turning red. Yeah, I was like, is my camera flipped? No, it's not flipped. Well, we have the jiggle physics. May as well add some slime boobies. JK. Yeah, I could make some money selling my jiggle physics solution to porn developers. I don't make it. I just make the jiggle. Could unironically probably make like a sphere, like jiggle, like that jiggles like just as its own asset, and just put that on Fab. It's probably much lower effort things on Fab than that. Speaking of low effort, my buddy showed me a game that why am I putting in effort is basically what he said when he showed me this. Was it Nothing Simulator? Yeah. Nothing. It's just nothing. This game, like, why even make a game? We're putting in too much effort. Press any key to start doing nothing. You own that? Oh, you do own that. Look at that. You have been doing nothing for 1 second, 2 seconds. There's DLC for this game too, I'm pretty sure. At least I thought there was. Am I crazy? I could have swore I saw a DLC that like changed the color. Was it a different game? Hang on. Let me check. Oh, it's Nothing Together. That's what it is. There's a multiplayer version of this game. Oh, wait, is it the same dev? Vacuum dev? No, it's a different dev. Okay. Nothing Together. Yeah, there's DLC for this game. Light theme. Deep purple theme. Like, why? Why am I even putting in effort? All right, update camera. Yeah, that's already done. Okay, so that's good. So, could probably adjust the threshold for the directional change required to move the face. By my estimation, nothing has made at least 3K. That's insane. What are we doing? That's crazy, dude. That is over 2 years, though. Still insane. Update camera's good. I can save that. Close that. Default value, close. Grab detection, close. Grab surface, close. Grab detection, loop body. What? Oh, it's the line trace. Okay. Cat is ridiculous. This cat is straight ridiculous. Wonder if I can move this camera real quick. Oh yeah. All right, hang on. Let me cat cam. Look at this cat. Just ridiculous. I'm familiar with that cat position. Yeah. Okay, so rotate face to velocity. Get component velocity. So probably the tolerance, maybe? Did we change the tolerance, you think? Very much so. Very familiar with that cat position, yeah. Cats are hilarious. I'm curious what this looks like if I adjust this. Fixing the face, I think, is going to be a harder problem. Oh, really? I think that's what we were working on last time. That I remember now. That's what you were trying to cook up. You're like, my brain is fried and melted. Yeah. I do remember that now. Because we're probably going to need a different solution for the face than the one we're doing right now. I wonder... Yeah, because you were saying it's probably best to have a sphere instead of the pivot that we're using right now, and like project it onto a sphere instead. And the sphere is invisible except for the face. That can't be too hard, right? I just got to remember how textures and UVs work. Haven't done that in years. Figure it out. Like Blender did this last time where it really froze up. Is there a new version of Blender out? Look it up. Oh, it's up. It's up now. Okay. That was mostly for scaling the slime. Oh yeah, huh? I don't know why I thought it was for the rolling. The pivot works for rotation. What was it you were trying to cook up again then? I think we were trying to solve, I think it's the same issue actually that we're facing right now, where we're trying to prevent like the micro movements of the face that happen, because it was happening when like the grab let go and it like bounced up and like the face would bob up and down real quick. Yeah, the face going crazy when grabbing. Okay. It's like same thing. Yeah, when grabbing. Although it doesn't really happen right here, which is odd. It's pretty normal right here. It does happen right there. Why is the face turning so heavily to the side? You need to think about where you want it to be facing in all scenarios, and then we could design a system around making that work. I do want it to be facing towards the velocity, but I feel like there probably needs to be maybe something that takes into account of the actual current like location. I mean, ultimately, velocity is just the difference between where the logic is telling it to go versus its location anyway. But like in this situation here, its world location is really not changing. Like it is visually, it is locked in place. So I wonder if it can be like if the that's still just velocity. Like I feel like ultimately the threshold is what's causing our issues here, because like it seems like it's taking into account such small little micro changes in the velocity in order to face in that direction, when it should probably be above a certain threshold before it actually changes the facial direction. Yeah, because ultimately the location's not changing here. Like it might be on a very small scale. But for the most part, it really just, I mean, it looks like it's not changing. I did try that. Okay. And that was no good. I guess it wouldn't really take into account when you're trying to like face a different direction, you know. But the threshold scale varies wildly depending on what you're grabbing. Print the velocity in that rolling function and you can see. Okay. Get component velocity. The normalized velocity or the component velocity? Or just the whole return value from right here? No, because this is get rolled rotation. I guess the normalized velocity. Get component velocity vector length. Okay, so we'll do, let me move this back just a little bit. Oh God. All right, I think it has to be done. I could just do it afterwards. I don't need to do all that. Let's do this. All right, string. I can't see siren. Yeah. Between like 96 and 97, it looks like here. Or I guess between 96 and 98. It's between like 96 and 98 while on the wall as well. Yeah, because obviously we want it to move when you're just like changing direction with little micro movements like this. But we don't want it to move right after you've grabbed something and it's bouncing up and down like that. So I think we can solve this issue here. Basically like while it's grabbing, if the threshold or if the velocity is less than 100, You know, just don't really have the face move, because you're not going to be trying to move your velocity or set your you're not going to be trying to move with your velocity changing while you're grabbed onto something like this. And I think what's actually causing this is the like sliding down a wall mechanic. I bet if we weren't sliding down a wall, we wouldn't be having that face jiggle issue underneath the when you're hanging onto a ceiling like this. But either way, I think that specific problem could probably be solved. Like if it's, well, no, because well, okay, so basically the same logic where the player, when the camera moves down, basically the same logic that's telling the camera to move down, or I should say the same condition, not the same logic, the same condition that's telling the camera to move down. At that point, we could have it set where if the velocity is less than 100, then don't move the face, you know? I think that's perfectly doable. The issue is going to be this right here. This is going to be the tough thing to fix. Yeah, why does it keep facing that direction, actually? No matter which direction you're facing when you grab on. When you're down to 0. I guess your velocity is just kind of always... It's never 0, actually, when you're grabbing on to something. The vector is always kind of pointed that way, which I assume that's got to be like the X vector, right? Like X positive. Yeah, because you spawn in, I think, facing X positive. Yeah, it always wants to face the X positive direction. What happens if it just comes to a complete stop right here? Just let it stop. Is it, when it gets down to 0, is it going to face the X positive direction, on like the X world positive direction? Man, this is taking a second. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, no matter what, when it's at 0, it's facing X positive. So maybe... It seems like the little micro movements that we're doing here, they really never go above, or I should say below 10. Like even the smallest, like quickest little mouse click I can do for a dash, it's never going, but like it's really not even going below like 50. But I think I did see it like at. You could probably do it like if the velocity is less than 10 as well. Like don't change the face direction. That would at least fix this issue where it's always facing X positive in the world coordinates. At 0. Yeah, because even like the smallest little click I can do. Like I mean, I don't even know if it's going below 50. But just to like really have it as low as possible, it could definitely be like if it's below 10, you know, don't have the face update. Maybe even below, might even be able to do it like below 50. But I want to know what the velocity is. Oh, you know, I got a great idea. Check this out. I'm going to do a dev only action that slows down time like to a crazy amount when a specific key is being held. F key, perfect. Requested velocity, we don't even, that's not even, yeah, okay. Yeah, get rid of that. I don't even need that anymore. Rest, set, time. Because I think the time dilation doesn't affect the velocity, right? It's still the same velocity. Set global time dilation to like 0.1. And then when it's done, set, just copy it. What am I doing? Set it back to normal. I just want to know what the velocity looks like. Man, the jiggle is funny, especially with the time dilation. It like really messes with it. Oh, it. Hmm. Yeah, that's honestly going to be the hardest thing to fix. Is the face bouncing up and down after you land. All the other problems I think we can pretty easily solve. But the face spazzing out after you land is going to be the toughest one. Because it's... Because you can't really say if it's below 100, you know, otherwise these little movements aren't going to change anything. Could maybe do like... could maybe do it like if you jumped within the just jumped within the last oh wait, it could be if can dash reset within the last whatever difference between when it reset to, you know, like the timestamp thing you were telling me about that we have set up for the just jumped. Maybe if can dash was reset within the last however long, and if the velocity is below 100, don't update the face. But then is it constantly being? I guess the only problem is that while I'm sitting here on the ground, is can dash constantly trying to be turned on. If there's a way to measure if it had just been turned from off to on, and then however long after that, set whatever like time gap or like threshold amount of time. If the velocity is below 100 during that time, don't update the face. You know, because it's going to be right after you hit the ground. Same here. No. Because you can dash. Yeah, that's not going to work. You can still dash midair. Or maybe can jump, right? Because I think can jump might be a better thing. If can jump was just reset instead of can dash. I don't know why I said can dash. So if can dash, or sorry, if can jump was just triggered in the past 5 seconds, and velocity is below 100, then just don't update the face. Does that sound like it might cause any problems that you can think of just already off the top of your head? Or does that sound like a pretty decent thing to attempt here? So that would be probably still in rotate face to velocity. And it would just be like, okay, so no, it's okay. So I'm thinking if we can determine if the can jump Boolean was just enabled from being false within the past 5 seconds or however many seconds, then if the velocity is below 100, don't update the face direction. Because I feel like everything else we can solve with other conditions pretty easily, but specifically like the bouncing, like up and down, like when you hit the ground, like that right there. So, because technically we're jumping when we do this little bounce, and then same here. So if can jump was just reset from being false to true in the past 5 seconds, and if the velocity is below 100 or whatever threshold, don't update the face. But then after that time expires of, you know, of can jump being enabled after whatever seconds after that time expires, then it just starts updating the face again. That's like the best solution I can think of for trying to fix this little face spazzing issue when it hits the ground. Because otherwise, all we got to do is like, if is grabbing and velocity is Actually, no, the face velocity here is fine. So if the same logic or the same condition that determines and tells the camera to trigger its logic to move down, that same logic could just be if, you know, grab is above player and velocity is less than 100, as it is right here, don't update the face. So that's solving the issue of the face spazzing out while it's hanging upside down like this. We're not really having that issue of the face spazzing out while it's sitting here, like grabbed onto something. Yeah, the face is fine while it's doing this, so we don't have to worry about that. But then specifically for the little bopping up and down like that, it can be if can jump was triggered from false to true, and it's been 5 seconds since it was changed from false to true, don't update the face. And then after that 5 seconds, it'll start updating the face again. Sorry, that might have been a lot to just vomit out. Feels like it makes sense to me. I think the main challenge, I'm not sure if there's a way to accurately track the moment just jumped goes from false to positive. Or false to true. Just jumped. Oh my gosh, I'm not speaking right. Sorry. I think the challenge is going to be trying to determine the exact moment when can jump is switched from false to true. Could probably do it on might have to do that on tick to determine when it goes from false to true. Let's do this. So basically I'm thinking, is grab above player. Wait, what is this value right here? Or interpret. Well, shoot. We're not really going from vector length into here though. But I could just still have this like this. Here, all right. So I think I might be able to fix the eyes spazzing out while underneath. I do kind of like still being able to see that spazzing out while like stuck to the ceiling. So if we go is grab above player, is that true? It's probably a good spot to use an and. So and vector length is less than 100 . Then don't update it. So it would just be false here. Yeah. So this would plug into here. This will plug into here. That worked. Oh, it is occasionally going over 100. I could probably just do if. Oh no, maybe let's set the threshold. Because I think there's still going to be situations where it's going to be moving while the threshold is, or the grab location is above the player. Oh. Oh. No, that didn't fix it. That didn't fix it. It fixed it if it was like this. And it's still like kind of. That's funny. I think this will require a proper state machine, which is a complex topic. I've heard about state machines before. Never really attempted one. I've mostly just heard about them used in the context of driving animation with state machines. I think we hold off on this for right now. Okay. Yeah, because we are going to have like multiple conditions that it would have to be under. Yeah. I guess a real state machine will let you make the face much more lively when you get to that point, though. Okay. Yeah, because I guess the logic of the expressions could be driven by the state that it's in. And a lot of states could probably have like crossover logic. Okay. Maybe that'll be like, we'll just tackle that next time, you know, instead of trying to set up a state machine. What is it, like almost 3 hours into the stream? That could be next time's, like from the start of the stream. You can try to tackle state machines. Really like understand the proper way to set up a state machine for this specific kind of character. Yeah, I do need to well, no. I mean, if we just have the camera set up the way it is, I think it's fine. I was thinking that there still needed to be more adjustments made to the camera, but I think it's fine the way it is right now. It might actually be fine for good. I don't know if it really matters, because what I was thinking is the camera specifically. Yeah, and I guess the state machine would probably fix the little back scratcher thing going on right here too. But I was thinking like maybe I should fix the camera specifically for this situation here. But it might be fine. I don't know. I don't think it should be that difficult for the camera to basically tell the camera like not to clip into the character. Like if it is turning, basically it should turn like this over it, you know, instead of through it. It'll just kind of like go like over the character like this instead of clipping. Yeah, so it does seem like I probably should not have any obstacles where you need to grab onto the bottom of a very thin object like this. Doesn't really play nice. Oh, look at that. That worked. It's not always going to work, but I'm surprised that worked at all. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so I don't think this is gonna be the play here with this branching logic. I don't think any amount of threshold is really gonna fix that. I do want to see what it looks like at a lower threshold though. Oh wait, no, it's always like 90 something anyway. Yeah, I don't think that's really gonna do anything now that I think about it. Yeah, that's... Wait, why was it jumping up to like 100 and something and 118? Okay, I've got time down to 0.1 dilation. And I'm not seeing any flashes of like a one whatever, but I guess it is happening. It's just happening too fast for me to see it. FPS spikes can unsettle the physics. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna fix my issue here, unfortunately. I wonder... Put that down again. Could probably set it to where there's like a timestamp difference. Like if you set the current timestamp, if it's been 3 seconds and then it goes over like 100 or 110, then don't don't update the face just for that specific issue right there. Oh, I forget how we did that. Get world delta seconds? No. I don't know. Ultimately, we probably should just save it for, like you said, just save it for a state machine rather than trying to make these little band-aid patches and fixes right now. Put that back how it was. Although I could do it, I could easily do a quick little band-aid patch of if that velocity was less than 10. Just don't update the face. Or like if is grabbing. Is grabbing. Or, I mean, even just less than 10, it doesn't even need to be is grabbing. Then... could even do less than like 5 or even 1 because it only happens when it gets to 0. I was just trying to prevent it like from facing back towards the X positive. That's a quick little band-aid. It's less than or equal to 1. You can even probably do 0.5 to be honest, or 0.1. Because it only happens when it's at perfect 0. Yeah. That's not really going to fix much, but... Wait. If its vector length is less than or equal to 0, false. Set world... What? I don't think that's right. No, that's right. Yeah. It's less than or equal to... Shoot, just do 0.1. It does look a little creepy just having the face stationary like that, though. I think ultimately there should be some type of like idle animation on the face. Where like he, you know, yeah, there's gonna have to be definitely a whole face animation system. And I'm thinking instead of just doing like a single picture, I can probably do like an animation of multiple pictures together. Or even like a GIF? Does Unreal accept GIFs? Like I could make it a GIF, which is much smaller in memory than like an MP4. Procreate can export GIFs. I can just make a GIF of like an idle face of it like blinking or just like kind of, you know, just like back, you know, bobbing its face back and forth a little bit. Then idling, it could probably just like, you know, look around for a sec or yeah. If Unreal accepts GIFs, then I could definitely use that to make just small little like micro changes to the face, like the mouth or whatever else. If it's not much difference between doing a GIF and a MP4, then I just use an MP4. But I do think ultimately, file size wise, it is less memory to use a GIF if Unreal is able to use GIFs. Or GIF, depending on if that's how you pronounce it. I think the original creator said it's pronounced GIF, but I don't accept that. It's GIF to me. You don't give someone, when on Christmas, you don't give someone gifts. You give them gifts. So it's GIF to me. But yeah, I think that might be an okay place to call it for tonight. Got a couple issues solved. I think we can pick it back up. There's a way to make animated frames. Okay. Yeah, I think that's also something that I'll just kind of work on in my spare time as well. So that, I mean, I just don't really have like a streaming setup for Procreate, which I guess I could do. I have a capture card. It's not a very good one, but I have like a little HDMI, like USB-C capture card. I could probably capture card from my iPad. But I'm not sure if I want to spend that on-stream time like drawing frames of stuff. That might not be as exciting as watching someone who doesn't know what they're doing stare at Unreal Engine and plug stuff in. It's super exciting compared to drawing frames. I don't know. I'll think about it. I might set up like a capture card for my iPad just to draw those faces in Procreate. Might just do it in my spare time, make little animations. Because the animations in Procreate anyway, they are separate frames, so I could just export them as separate images instead of making like the animation GIF exported from Procreate. But we'll see. But yeah, I think the 3-hour mark is a good place to call it. Got some solid work done today. Always appreciate you hanging out, Bacon Guy. Also had a great time yesterday playing some Hat in Time. So next Monday, we're definitely going to continue and finish up with that DLC, or maybe finish it whenever we finish it. We'll continue the DLC. I don't know if we're even going to be able to get through it on next Monday. It seemed pretty expansive. But oh, and there's the other DLC as well, which I sent to you as a gift on Steam. I forgot to even bring it up yesterday. But it was like $1 something. The DLCs were on sale. But the one I sent you as a gift, it was like $1. It's like a multiplayer only DLC where you're trying to escape from that ghost princess lady or queen lady from the what is his name? The spooky level. Yeah, from the spooky level. Do I have permission to push to your repo during the week? I might look into a real solution. Sure. Yeah. I'm going to save this and then do a final push for tonight, like a final save and push right now. Yeah, I saw. I meant to say thanks in voice. That's fine. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Literally, the only DLCs I was thinking of were the Metro one and the one that we did, the ship iceberg. I don't remember what it was called, but the cruise one, the cruise line one. But yeah, whenever we finish the Metro DLC, we'll move on to the other multiplayer one. I'm not sure if he'll stop by, but could maybe even include Red on that. I'm sure he's done it a million times. That guy is a professional, probably in the top 0.01% of Hat in Time gamers. That guy's crazy. Red was crazy. That 650 hours in a Hat in Time is wild, man. Bless him. More power to him. That's crazy. All right. Oh yeah. Save all. Hit a push here. Camera work. Fixed camera clipping while grab point is above. I think that's all we did, right? Doesn't feel like we did a lot, but it also feels like we did a lot. Yeah, I think that's all we did. Commit. Push. Sweet. All right, that is my final push for tonight. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. Always appreciate you stopping by. I'll catch you next week on Monday. We'll play some more Hat in Time. Anyone else that stopped by, I appreciate you. Yeah, we'll make some more progress next time, next Tuesday. Monday is Hat in Time. Tuesday, Unreal Engine. So I'll catch you later. Have a great week. Take care. Be safe. Don't get into any trouble. Tell your cat I said hi.